peptide-based brain support formula focused. Most of you guys know, but my name is Alan Jones. I'm a nutritional biochemist and the director of science for Make Wellness. My background includes more than 30 years of experience in the manufacturing and product development industry. I've been the CEO of 4 different companies. The last one, my last 3 years before I retired and redeployed, was as the CEO of a fairly large pharmaceutical manufacturing company based out of Fort Worth. And so my background and experience is product development and manufacturing, and hopefully I can use some of that experience to help explain to you guys the features and benefits of our products. So let's get started tonight and move through our products, move through our presentation. So first and foremost, most of you think you've heard of peptides, but I would challenge you to think again. And let me give you a little bit of background as to why I say that. So a lot of my research and a lot of my studies over the past couple of years have been about peptides. And when I first started talking to Justin Prince and Truman Hunt about becoming part of the team, I was and to be honest with you, I was very skeptical about the power and the benefits of bioactive peptides. And it was because I was not familiar with bioactive peptides. I was familiar with other types of peptides. And so I want to challenge you to open your mind and to hear what I'm going to teach you tonight, because bioactive precision peptides, which are what the majority of our products are formulated on and the foundation of our company, are tremendously biologically active components that can really help increase and support optimal health and wellness. So what are bioactive precision peptides? And I think it's really important that we understand what these things are, because they're different than other types of peptides. They're different than other proteins. And these are usually between 2 and 20 amino acids in length. They are naturally derived from plant and animal sources. So these are not synthetic. They're not made in a lab. They are derived from plant and animal sources, and typically from the foods that we consume. So what are bioactive precision peptides? And I think it's really important that we understand what these things are, because they're different than other types of peptides. They're different than other proteins. And these are usually between 2 and 20 amino acids in length. They are naturally derived from plant and animal sources. So these are not synthetic. They're not made in a lab. They are derived from plant and animal sources, and typically from the foods that we consume. Bioactive precision peptides play very important roles in optimizing neurotransmitter and hormone function. They aid in wound healing, skin health, muscle building, additional roles. They're very powerful antioxidants. They're antibacterial, anti-infectious properties as well. There are more than 7,000 peptides that have been identified in the human body. These are called endogenous, or they are internal to our human body. But there are more than 7,000 peptides in the human body. And here is the exciting part, is that billions more exist undiscovered in nature. So let me expand on that one point just a little bit. We use a small handful of bioactive peptides in our first group of products that we're launching with. Can you imagine what we're going to be able to create over the next 3, 5, 10, 15 years as we discover more and more peptides, as we discover the functions of these peptides and how these peptides can benefit our bodies? And guys, let me tell you something. I'll expand on that just a little bit as well. You know, in 33 years of being in this business, I've created literally hundreds, if not thousands of products. I've created products that have done billions of dollars, that's billions with a B, billions of dollars of revenue throughout the course of my career. And not one time over that 33 years have I had new technology to work with until now. And that's one of the things that has just been plaguing the dietary supplement industry for the last 30 plus years is a complete and total lack of innovation. Yeah, somebody might come out with a gummy bear, or somebody comes out with a lollipop, or they put something that was a powder into a liquid. Let me tell you something, that's not true innovation. That's just changing a delivery system. What we have in our hands right now truly is next generation technology. It's next generation health and wellness, and it's going to impact your life in an extremely positive way. So bioactive precision peptides, here are some of the cool benefits of these compounds. They are safe with no side effects. They're classified as nutraceutical dietary supplements, so they are not pharmaceuticals. So don't get mixed up into thinking and even trying to compare these to a pharmaceutical, because they're not. They are nutraceuticals, they're dietary supplements. Here's the cool thing about bioactive precision peptides is that, and we're going to expand on this a little bit here in just a second, but they have enhanced stability due to structural features that are intuitively built in by nature. Okay. So as nature is producing these peptides, nature builds in protective mechanisms to allow these peptides to make it through digestion, to make it through all the acidity, the pH changes, the digestive enzymes, the different parts of digestion, and actually physically enter the body and impart their physical benefits. So they are enhanced by nature. The mechanisms of actions are very broad, and typically within the bioactive precision peptide, they are multiple. Let me explain what I mean by that. Let's take our FIT product, for example. Our FIT product has two primary bioactive precision peptides that is actually encrypted in another 4,000 additional peptides. So again, the two that have been studied are surrounded by 4,000 additional, and that's where the multiple mechanisms of action can come into play. Now, another great thing about bioactive precision peptides versus pharmaceutical type drugs and compounds is that they do not interfere with our body's own internal regulatory system. They will not trigger negative feedback mechanisms. In other words, they will not stop our body from producing something that our body needs to produce. What they do is they enhance our body's ability to produce those substances. So there are two totally different functionalities when you compare synthetic peptides with our bioactive precision peptides. They have very broad health benefits, and they're primarily used for prevention and for health and wellness. So here, let's talk about and let's expand on the encryption that I mentioned briefly just a second ago. So bioactive precision peptides, ours are manufactured, processed using a technology called hydrolysis. Now, hydrolysis could mean a number of different things. It could mean enzymatic hydrolysis. It could be hydrolysis using pH or acidity. Hydrolysis can occur in many different ways. However, our bioactive precision peptides are preserved using a technology that preserves those peptide bonds, that preserves those specific peptides, while also maintaining their encryption with other peptides. Now, what do I mean by that? And I'll expand on that just a little bit. You have to understand that what makes ours different is, for example, we have in our FIT product again, we have fava bean powder, fava bean protein, okay? A lot of people can get a hold of fava bean protein. Fava bean protein is available. All right. What they can't get a hold of is the technology that it takes to hydrolyze that fava bean protein in such a way that those bioactive precision peptides are protected and maintain their physiological function. That's the difference. So you have to understand it's the technology that makes the difference here. So bioactive peptides, they're encrypted in this protein peptide matrix. And that is very, very important for us to understand because, and I was speaking in Nashville and I was speaking with Brooke Craig and we were on stage and she used the analogy and I thought it was a perfect analogy. She's like going through a minefield in a Volkswagen versus going through a minefield in a Humvee. And those bioactive peptides, that protein peptide matrix is like going through the minefield of digestion in a Humvee, an armored vehicle. And so those are like casualties of war to make absolutely sure that our primary peptides are delivered and available to impart their physiological function. So hopefully that analogy will give you a little example of what I'm talking about. So that technology preserves the protective nature of the encryption. And those structural features, actually, there are additional structural features that provide additional protections. And this is the way that those peptides are actually created and put together in nature. So, for example, the presence of proline bonds within the peptides. Prolines have a very strong bond, and it makes it more difficult for a proline containing peptide to be broken down before it reaches its point of action. And so structural features are also intuitively built into the bioactive precision peptides. Let's talk about a little bit about absorption and transport. So bioactive precision peptides are smaller in size than proteins are. And here's what we're talking about with a protein. So typically a peptide is considered to be a peptide when it's between 2 and 50 amino acids long. What usually happens with bioactive precision peptides is they're typically between 2 and 20 amino acids long. Anything above 50 amino acids actually is considered to be a protein, okay? And this can be anywhere from 50 to upwards of thousands and thousands of amino acids in a consecutive chain held together by peptide bonds. So bioactive precision peptides, typically 2 to 20 amino acids, they're smaller in size than proteins. They are much more bioavailable than proteins are. They're also less allergenic than proteins are. They are more stable when ingested than proteins are. The stability has to do, again, like we talked about a while ago, the encryption and the intuitive nature of the structural composition of those peptides. So they are protected by other peptides and proteins throughout the digestive process. And those larger peptide and protein fragments actually aid in the transport of bioactive precision peptides in the body. So bioactive precision peptides, once again, I'll say this again, they are a new generation of nutrition technology. 33 years, I've never had new technology until now. And guys, we are in the process. We have 6 products now. We are in the process of developing more products as we speak. You guys are going to be so stoked at the types of products that we're developing. And over the next 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to have a product line that is going to be unstoppable. And basically, it's going to be bioactive peptide-based product line, combinations of products. We'll have enough product combinations that people can make individualized dietary supplement prescriptions for each person. And that's very powerful to be able to personalize our nutrition, to be able to personalize our peptide based functions that we desire to have. That's a very powerful position to be in as a company, and we're really excited about what that's gonna look like. So, cell signaling peptides that optimize the body's ability to perform particular functions. Let me use another analogy and kind of give you an idea of what I mean by that. Some of you guys will remember the old flip phones, the old Motorola flip phones, maybe from 15 or 20 years ago. When you had to make a telephone call, you just flipped that thing open, you dialed a number. That predates today's Apple iPhone, right? So what's the difference between a Motorola flip phone, which consider the human body without peptides, just with regular vitamins and minerals and regular supplements? You can consider that your Motorola flip phone. You take the iPhone, that's our body on bioactive precision peptides. Those bioactive precision peptides act as apps. They tell that phone not to be just a communications device, not to pick up and dial a number. They turn that phone into a smartphone that can calculate complex formulations, that can do, you can download Chat GPT and you can get all kinds of information. And so those bioactive peptides are messengers in our body that help our body and optimize our body's ability to perform particular functions. Once again, in the case of FIT, that particular function is muscle protein synthesis. FIT helps our body optimize muscle protein synthesis. It helps our body prevent the breakdown and the loss of muscle proteins. When we do another FIT training, we'll get really deep into that, and you guys will understand what we're talking about for you first-time guys. But for you other guys that have been here, you understand that those bioactive precision peptides can impart very specific physiological functions. Those mechanisms of actions have tremendous benefits. So we truly are at the cusp of revolutionizing health and nutritional science simply by unlocking the true potential of nature. Remember, we've got 5 or 6 peptides right now in our product line. We're going to have 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 eventually. You just sit back and watch. So we are truly unlocking the true potential of nature. Now let's talk about our product Focused. We are in a cognitive crisis in this country. More than 8 in 10 Americans are affected by brain health issues. Okay. Think about that. 8 out of every 10 people we come across are affected by brain health issues. 20.4% of adults over 45 have subjective cognitive decline. 45 years old, guys, 45 years old. More than 16 million Americans are living with cognitive impairment. Now, here's the last one, and I'm going to relate it to something else that we've talked about in the past, and that's cognitive decline begins in the 3rd decade of life and increases to 1 to 2% per year over the age of 50. Now, where have we heard that before? Guess what the human body also does at the same time? We lose muscle mass beginning in our 3rd decade of life, and that loss increases to 1 to 2% per year over the age of 50. So I'm going to ask you a question, and this is something to think about because we're going to relate it. But does losing muscle mass have an impact on cognitive function? And I'm going to tell you without a doubt that it certainly does. So make wellness focused. So did you know, and here are a couple of brain power stats, that 48% of parents report overwhelming stress. 8 in 10 Americans, we talked about this just a second ago, are affected by brain health issues. And adult ADHD is one of the top mental health concerns of 2024. So high stress levels can significantly decrease attention and memory. Stress is a killer, guys. And so we're going to take every opportunity that we possibly can to help our bodies deal with stress and the impact of stress. And the side effects, the adverse events associated with stress are unlimited. And it goes more than just cognitive decline, lack of focus, the ability to concentrate. It goes into hypertension, cardiovascular disease. It goes into all kinds of serious issues. And so every opportunity that we get as a company, we are going to address the issue of stress. I can promise you that. So make wellness focus. Harnessing the Cognitive Focus Power Blend, which is a carefully curated combination of bioactive precision peptides and other beneficial ingredients to support short-term cognitive focus and long-term brain health. Make Wellness Focus supports memory formation and recall. It improves focus and concentration. It has antioxidant properties to combat oxidative stress. It supports healthy brain cell membranes, enhances cerebral blood flow, supports faster cognitive processing, protects against blue light damage, and supports visual processing and eye-brain connection. And now let's break these down a little bit. So Make Wellness Focus is a multifaceted approach to cognitive support. It is designed to enhance memory, focus, and overall brain health. It's a combination of synergistic ingredients that enhance neurotransmitter function. It improves cerebral circulation, protects brain cells from oxidative damage, and supports neuroplasticity. Now let's talk about you guys are going, what in the world is neuroplasticity? Well, let me tell you what that is. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to repair itself after damage, or basically improve and increase the ability to recall former memories, things that we've forgotten about. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to refunction again. And so we are going to support the neuroplasticity of our brain. Focused also has the added benefit of an eye health supplement as well. And you might ask, why eye health? Because the eyes look directly into the brain. And what we see a lot of times and how we see it can definitely impact brain health. So Focus supports overall brain health and resilience. It's also convenient and easy to use. So you take one capsule per day with water. Let's talk about the ingredients found in Focus. So the first ingredient is Bacopa that we're going to talk about. Bacopa is a traditional Ayurvedic herb. It's been used for literally thousands of years for cognitive enhancement. It improves mental focus and attention. It improves memory formation and recall of short-term memory as well. It enhances the retrieval of long-term memory. So Bacopa has been proven to improve and enhance both short-term and long-term memory. Ginkgo biloba peptides. Now, most of us have heard of ginkgo biloba powder or ginkgo biloba leaf extract in the past. But ginkgo biloba peptides are actually peptides that were discovered in the ginkgo biloba fruits. So our peptides are basically hydrolyzed fruit extracts. They are concentrated, they are extracted from those fruits, they are protected through this encryption technology. And those ginkgo biloba peptides have been shown to support blood flow and nutrient delivery to the brain. They have very powerful antioxidant properties that reduce oxidative stress and protect brain cells. So what is oxidative stress? We've heard that word used a couple of times now. So oxidative stress is caused when through the natural metabolic processes of our brain, our bodies produce what are called free radicals or reactive oxygen species. Okay, these are just free radicals. And so antioxidants basically scavenge or collect those free radicals, those reactive oxygen species, and they bind to them and they stabilize them and they carry them out of the body so that those reactive oxidative species can't react. They basically make them inactive. And so that's the antioxidant property that is so powerful as a protector of our brain cells. Ginkgo biloba peptides also promote healthy brain function and improves mental clarity. Phosphatidylserine. Now, phosphatidylserine is an incredible nutrient. It is a phospholipid that is crucial for cognitive function because it actually is a component of brain cell membranes. And so it supports cell membrane health in the brain by providing the structural integrity that our brain cells need to maintain brain cell function. Phosphatidylserine is what supports neuroplasticity in our brain, and it also improves memory and cognitive performance. Lutein and zeaxanthin, that combination of carotenoids has extremely powerful antioxidant properties in supporting our eye health. It supports visual processing. As a result of improving our eye health, and there are actually some tremendous studies on lutein and zeaxanthin showing that it actually reverses age-related eye issues, that it actually can improve and protects against age-related cognitive decline as well because it improves our eye health. It also has been shown to increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor in the brain as well, BDNF. And by doing so, we're actually improving the function of our brain by improving the function of our eyes. So in closing, the Focused is ideal for students and professionals, anybody that is looking for cognitive enhancement, older adults concerned about age-related cognitive decline, busy parents and individuals looking to optimize brain function, or anyone with a high visual and mental demand. So Focused is our go to work, get it done product. It absolutely will help us to gain that cognitive clarity, to get rid of our brain fog and focus on whatever function that we are trying to